Hello, this is VerticalSandwich, and welcome back to Let's 100% Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and we are doing firefighter missions, which involve, surprise, surprise, driving around a fire truck and spraying things with water. Alright, so there's a nozzle on top of this truck, and I point it straight forward. You can move it around from side to side with, I think, the left joystick, but I keep it pointed forward, and I point the truck where I want to shoot. It's just easier for me. Your first mission will be just putting out a car. Easiest thing in the world, just spray the car down. And then every mission after that, when you spray the car down and it goes out, people will get out who are on fire and they will run around. Some things to note. When the people spawn, they always run away from the fire truck. So my strategy is to put out all the cars so all the people run the same direction. So just park and point at the car and spray until you stop seeing that steam. That steam means you're hitting the fire. When you stop seeing the steam, you're not hitting the fire anymore, then move your truck around and shoot more fire. It's so simple that it just might work. The reason I do that is because putting out all the car fires guarantees you spawn all the people, you don't have to make return trips to a place you've already been, and it gets all the people running in the same direction. It's pretty hard, I don't know if it's impossible, but it's pretty hard to leave people burn long enough that they die. I've actually done this mission. I failed this mission twice, and I think in this, the only way I can't figure out either time why I failed. I rewatched them, and I don't know what's going on. So anyways, so again, point water at the car, spray it, and keep spraying, because when the people get out, if you hit them with the hose, it'll knock them down. And as long as there's steam coming, you're hitting them. And that's a perfect example. 2 people got out, the water knocked them down and kept them from moving, and it completed the whole mission without me ever moving. That's the best kind of strategy thing I can give you. And you'll see in later missions, we're going to end up chasing people around. And that's just inevitable. You're going to have to chase people around. But as long as all you have to do is get them in front of the truck and hit the whatever button you're using for fire, I'm using circle, which is the default. And then, you just get the people in front of the truck, and hopefully shooting them will knock them down. So, and try not to run them over. Like, that's kind of your deal with the whole mission. So, it actually occurred to me when I was playing this in one of my earlier playthroughs, it showed up on the commentary, one of the levels that I was doing, that there's a Simpsons episode, and it's a fantastic episode. It's one of my favorite episodes of the show, where they're, like, Ned and Mo and Apu are volunteer firemen, and they're trying to figure out how to put out a satellite. And finally, Apu's just like, let's just spray it with the water. And that's a good summary of this mission. Just spray it with water. Just keep spraying water on things, chasing down these fires. And this isn't as rough as it seems. It's really not. It's a cumulative time mission, so the faster you do it, the more time you kind of bank, and that rolls over to next missions. But you don't really... This is not the kind of thing... This isn't like the taxi missions where you're gonna... If you do it long enough, you're gonna get up to 30 minutes banked or anything like that. And you don't need that anyway. Because the people, like I said, are really predictable. They tend to stick to the sidewalks. They tend to not run into crazy places where you can't get them. That's not always the case. Sometimes you will have to chase them down alleys and around buildings and things like that. I should mention, some people do this in the airport, in the wide open space in the airport. For me, I like to do it in a place that actually has some turns and some enclosed space to it. It works better for me. I like the missions in Little Haiti the best. Those seem to be the easiest for me, is when actually things are around, like Kaufman Cabs and that kind of area. The problem with spawning the missions there is they'll take you into downtown. Is for some reason in these missions, Little Haiti and downtown, there isn't a big distinction. If you start the missions in downtown, you'll have missions in Little Haiti. If you start them in Little Haiti, you'll have missions in downtown. So, but like I said, some people do it in the airport, because if you go into like the middle of like where the runways are in the airport, you'll get a lot of people running around. You'll get them on the few little roads around there, and then in that big open area. And that works for a lot of people. It doesn't work for me. I don't know, I don't like it. Because there's too many kind of like, just the planes and the gates and stuff. That's the big problem for me, is people running around and behind those and things like that. So, I do it this way. And like I said, I wouldn't suggest, or maybe I didn't say this. Maybe I said this in a previous run. I wouldn't do it in Washington Beach. There's that huge alley that runs up like the whole bottom half of the island, and I just would, it just seems like a bad idea. I don't know. It seems to me that I have done these missions in that general area before, but I don't know if I did it successfully. Every time I've done it, and there's a fire truck available just opposite, just on the main drag, right, just south of the ammunition. And you can just walk behind the fence and pick it up. It's the only place offhand that I know for a fact that there's a fire truck available. I can't think of any other fire stations, and there have to be. There have to be other fire stations in this game. But, see, we're already up to level 8, and we're 5 minutes in. It was just on our right. We just passed the fire station on our right. And you'll see it. It'll have a fire truck out there. I don't know if there's a hidden package behind it or not. I'm not sure. So I'm not gonna, don't quote me on that. Although you don't really have to quote me, I mean, you have an audio recording of me saying it. So yeah, so see, I mean, that guy, we kept spraying because there was still steam, and it was pushing that guy away from us, and at the very last moment, that was lucky. I try not to run these people over, because I'm pretty sure if you run them over repeatedly, it cancels the mission if they die. So, alright, so now we're in Little Haiti, and that'll be good. I think the other thing about Little Haiti is some of them spawn out on this main drag, and that's really good. It's a nice kind of semi-open area where we can get a lot of shots and stuff, and we can drive pretty easily, and we can use the median to keep from hitting people. And I know you really got to kind of control your instincts here, because your instincts when people start running away will be to chase them, and just don't, because there are going to be other people. And like now that all the cars are out and there's no more kind of blips in this area, we can chase them down, and that's a good thing. So yeah, it was like the 2 times I failed this previously, it was like on this level, and I have no idea. I have no idea what was going on. I've rewatched them now, and the first one is just a bizarre game glitch that I've never seen anything like it. This cop moves impossibly and yanks us out of the vehicle for no reason. We have no wand level. It was just crazy. And doesn't arrest us, just pulls us out so that the mission stops. So anyway, what you get for this mission is you become fireproof. You can't be burned, although you can be exploded. So I wouldn't, if you're in a car and it blows up, you'll die. But you can, one of the things about this, and the reason we did this before we were doing the rampages, is because there are some Molotov cocktail rampages and some flamethrower rampages, and it kind of helps to not be able to be set on fire. I mean, you can stand next to gang members and basically drop Molotov cocktails if you want. So, I mean, it doesn't help that much. You can easily do those, without this. But, see, now that was a mistake, and don't do what I just did, because now those people, because again, everybody runs away from the fire truck, they're going to run the opposite direction. So, now we got to go back where we've already been, waste time, and chase these people down. But like I said, there are tons of places these people could be running that would be problematic for us in Little Haiti here, and they're not. They're not running around these crazy buildings into these back alleys. They're running down the sidewalk. I mean, apparently we're dealing with a ton of people, an entire city of people who've never heard stop, drop, and roll. The last thing you want to do is go running, flailing your arms down the street. But that's what these people are doing, so we're dealing with it. You'll have to occasionally check your map to see where you're going. It's not as big a deal, because cars that are driving while they're on fire, that only happens in the missions where there's one car. So the first 4. I think it's the first. Maybe it's just the first 3. So these will always be in one standard place. The cars will all be together, which is good. I mean, they could have made this a lot harder than it is. We really. So yeah. So just spray, steam, spray, steam, steam, spray, spray, steam. Hooray! And just wait for everybody to get running, and then we'll go after them. You can kind of watch your mini-map and wait until the blip that's right in front of you disappears. It's kind of a no-brainer. I probably didn't need to say that to you. You're smarter people than that. And you'll do a lot of coasting. You'll do a lot of kind of generally aiming in because the people are running away from you. Just kind of coast towards them until the water hits them, and so you don't run them over. Because again, you don't want to kill them. You can run them over after they're off, like once they're put out, then you can run them over all you want. All right, and look at the money rewards we're getting. This is, it's good money. So we got 3 minutes. We got 3 minutes to do this last level, and that's fine. We'll have put out 78 fires, and we'll be done. What kind of crazy man drives around those cars like that? Like, that guy's nuts. I saw a lot of that in this mission, actually, while I was doing these missions, were just these crazy drivers who are piling through these cars, and I'm just like, you're crazy. Like, if a car might explode, you stay away from it. This is rule 1 of exploding cars. What is... okay, well, we'll plow through these things. The fire truck is a really durable vehicle. It's really good at plowing through things, although not right now, apparently. It's really good at pushing things out of the way, and it can take a lot of damage, so I wouldn't worry about that. If something's in your way, like, just drive through it. If you can, anyway. Not like that last thing I was doing. So this is it. These are our people for our last mission, and then we'll be done. We won't have to do this. And you can do this past level 12 too. It's another one that doesn't stop you at level 12, but there's no reward except for money past level 12. And I'm sure you can do. I can imagine people have probably done up level 20 is about as high as I think I could probably get. So, and it'd probably take me a lot of tries and stuff, and it just doesn't. Again, I'm not trying to earn bragging rights. I'm just trying to do the things that I have to do. So, here we go. And yeah, this is the last guy. Get him, 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 get him. Woohoo! Okay, we're fireproof. Alright, and so then when we cancel the mission, it'll show us how much money we've made. It's setting us up for level 13. We're not going to do level 13, and we want to do that. And I'm going to show you, we got some time. We're only 12 minutes in here, so we got some time. I'm going to show you the 2 times I failed, so you can judge for yourself how crazy these things are. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. And if you keep watching, you'll see the rest of that. So, alright, so here we are, and this is my first failure at the firefighter missions, and you're gonna see how crazy this is. I'm just parking here, and I'm just working my thing. I'm doing my strategy, spraying down cars with water, and just kind of watch to the right, because there's gonna be the craziest thing with this, like, motorcyclist, and that cop that's over at the corner, like, attacks that guy, and then watch this. This is so nuts. What is going on? What is going on? What was that? What was that? Ugh! I have no idea, but anyway, so I obviously do the thing that you logically have to do in this situation, which is I kill this cop. And now I feel a little better, and at the time I was like, oh, yeah, I got busted, I must have had a wanted level, but watching that watching that now, what the hell? What was that? What was that? Alright, and so this is my second failure, and I'm running around, and I'm by the stadium, and I'm on, like, I don't know, level 6 or level 7. And I'm chasing these guys around, and I've been chasing these guys around for a little bit, but, I mean, not a... and maybe that was the problem. Maybe what happened was that I chased these guys around for too long and couldn't get them, and they died, and maybe that can happen. I don't know. But I just don't get what happens here, and I get them against the wall, and they're running around, and then there's that sound like an explosion, and it says I'm too late. So there you go.